Mike Mulligan here. Counterfeit and defective parts, systemic fraud in the nuclear industry with repair parts and new systems and like. And so you know, here we are. Like I said, you know, we had bad parts in Vermont Yankee. The seals, and like I said, you know, I've always said, you know, what's going on with what's going on in besides the seals, you know, how about the rest of the valve? How about the rest of the valve? If that was a type 2 thing, that means the rest of the valve was a low quality also, right? You know, the wiring installation, any other plastic components in that, the actuator and stuff like, will get you to the point to say, you know, if they try to save a few pennies on a threaded seal, then why wouldn't they save a few pennies anywhere else and stuff like that? Where was that valve manufactured, by the way? And all that sort of stuff. So Vermont Yankee, then it expanded to Peach Bottom and their threaded seal, SRV threaded seal problem, poor quality stuff, and you know, the inspection results, the spotty inspections reports, and you know, blah blah blah. Everything's safe, everything's always safe, everything's going to stay safe. And we got our eyes shut. And so, you know, you start saying to yourself, you know, why weren't these documents, these inspection reports and LERs accurate and stuff like that? You know, that's the foundation of safety of a nuclear power plant, is their documents. And that's that's the guidelines, that's what sets the sights of everybody, is their documents and stuff like that. So really important stuff, probably the most important stuff you can imagine, besides the human mind. And so then you know, next comes the Korean scandal, the South Korean scandal with the nuclear plants, massive fraud with the certifying nuclear parts and repair parts, replacement parts, new parts, whatever kind of new stuff you want to talk about and stuff. So that came to the scene and stuff like that, you know, and then after that, the Pintus business, you know, the Pintus controls with their with a CEO of a large supplier of nuclear parts in the United States, you know, and stuff. And you know, I'll make the case. Anybody, you know, like, and then the reporting of it. You know, the guy went to court. This has been taking a couple of years to go through the court system. I don't know, a year, 2 years. The whole thing is it has been hidden until he went to the court. When he went to court, and it was the information was made available to the public. You know, that part there, and the whole thing is a lot of secrecy involved and stuff like that. And I got a list. You know, I put it up on the internet. I've already put it up on the internet. Most of there's an enormous amount of nuclear plants that this Pintus controls supply parts to. And you know, and Peach Bottoms has said that they have changed. They have evaluated every part that came from Pintus and stuff like that. I don't know how thorough it was. You know, they're so far deep in the cover up there. I don't trust Peach. I don't trust Exelon. I'll tell you the truth. I don't trust any of these nukes and such. So you know, there's questions here now of you know, how systemic it is with repair parts and stuff. And so how long has this been going on with me? About 2 years, you know. So I kind of started this stuff, and they know I'm one of the big assholes, you know, and that type of thing, and they know I won't quit and stuff. And I always, you know, and behind everything, I said this is a NRC failure to regulate, and the utilities trying to save a couple pennies and stuff like that. That's what this is all about and stuff. And you know, I don't know the magnitude of it, how big it's going to be. So let's just talk about a new article that came out today, a new newspaper report. TVA is one of the worst. It's one of the plants that have a red finding. TVA is as bad as they come. They have lied through their teeth through a number of years. I mean, it's disgraceful. I've been watching their LERs over a number of years. The red finding with residual heat exchanger injection valve. I was involved in that a little bit and stuff like that. Horrible conditions for how many plants TVA operates, and unfortunately, it's a semi-government organization, and it's too bad. I know it's isolated from the government, but it is, essentially a government operation, and they've had a lot of trips. A lot of their fire systems at the TVA plants has been horrible as far as having requirements and delaying, obscuring, hiding, not filling out the appropriate documents, LERs. A disgusting, rotten organization as far as owning nuclear power plants and stuff, and they're not getting better. They've had this red finding and all that sort of stuff, and for I think 2 years now, and it's really a bad plant. So here we go. This is electric light and power. I don't know when the date of it is, but TVA nuclear parts scrutinized. A problem that surfaced 18 months ago at Watts Bar nuclear plant, still under construction. Unit 2 reactor has resulted in the safety review of 500 packages of TVA purchased parts. The discovery that not all the parts, everything from bolts and fans to cables, electrical breakers, had been. The discovery that not all the parts had been tested adequately to assure they would meet nuclear safety and quality standards was first made by the Nuclear Regulatory Commission during a September 2011 Watts Bar inspection. 2011. We got them. We was 2010, right? But anyways, again, these guys, I talked about the NRC inspectors. They see so many things. The big dogs. They have so many skills and stuff. They all been educated up the yin yang and stuff like that. You just wonders how they can miss these things. But just over a week ago, TVA filed an event report with the NRC stating that more than 500 packages of parts, some already installed, must be evaluated. Watts Bar Nuclear Unit 2 has determined that certain equipment components have been installed that may not meet the requirements of the commercial grade dedication process. This condition has the potential of creating a substantial safety hazard had it not remained uncorrected. Evaluations are being performed, the NR said in the event report. So, like I've been talking about, at Vermont Yankee, it's the same thing, really, but the NRC is, not asked the right questions, not asked the big questions of why this was going on. And I tell you the truth, like I said, with this peach bottom inspector, I don't know, I got vibes that he was either saying there was an investigation going on. You don't know what's going on under all of this and stuff, and whether there's a other federal investigation going on, and that. And these cover-ups are usually multi-layered. They're have a lot of layers to it and stuff. And is it Vermont Yankee trying to survive a political threat with operations and stuff like that? It's hard for a whistleblower to understand. You always see the symptoms and stuff like that, and the motives behind it is always hidden. And then, you're going to always just say, these are the symptoms. This is a picture of the bad report. This is the stolen document that I give you and stuff like that. But you very seldom understand what's really going on. And that's the horror of a whistleblower, because he takes a lot to try try and understand the big picture, and to talk in a voice that say that I want you to understand this is not a Vermont Yankee problem, but this is a national problem, and it's very serious in questions, and it affects a lot of plants in the nation and stuff like that. Essentially it's a breakdown of our political process that doesn't control our regulators and allows these utilities to dance along, trying to make pennies off of repair parts and stuff. And so I think under this is we have the system, the repair part, safety part system is massively corrupted, and Pintus gives us an idea of how bad it is and stuff. And it's unrestrained by the Nuclear Regulatory Commission. They don't have the powers to see what's going on. And we watched this over in Palisades with their service water pumps and the re-engineering and retro-engineering and what's the name of it? I can't even think of the name of it. Just a lot of people, The thing with the nuclear parts is they're normally 10 times as expensive as it should be and stuff, and that creates a humongous incentive to get a cheap part in there from China or something like that you don't have any idea where the crap came from or how it was produced, and to replace it with and give it to a utility that'll pay big bucks for it and stuff like that. So, and you don't know the payola system behind this. Does a utility executive get benefits from a guy like Pintus and stuff like that to bring on substandard parts? And like I said with Pintus, it looks like the only way this thing could work is somebody was paying somebody off. Somebody at two plants was paying somebody off, and so that gives you the question: is the repair parts or purchasing department of all these plants, are they susceptible to fraud in making in fraud and individuals making bucks? And Fitzpatrick, right? One of these plants here, a guy stole $50,000 worth of metal to a redemption and brought it to a redemption system. He was walking out with all this metal and stuff like that. And so, is this something about the quality of the employees, the quality of all of us? Where we're doing short-term stuff, we're all in stress, and we're in this thing of we gotta make money and all that sort of stuff, and it all our conscience has disappeared, and all we're into it is that to get enough money for that next vacation or that nice new BMW car or whatever kind of car you want, and stuff like that. And most of the adult population is not trustworthy. You see what I'm saying? And so, I think the purchasing department of nuclear plants across the nation has been corrupted. The agency has shown that they have been corrupted. They have indications that there's been a systemic problem with purchasing nuclear-grade safety parts, or basically nuclear safety plants. They've been rebuffing everybody, trying to bring this stuff up, especially me and stuff like that. And I've seen underneath this, the agency's kind of doing inspections and training on vendors and all that sort of stuff. And so, you wonder a lot of times with the NRC if they knew that this was on, so they delayed it, and then this is typical NRC behavior. And so they delayed it, and it allows them underneath this do this kind of training and create this atmosphere that they're a competent agency and they're on it and all that sort of stuff. Why the scandal is brewing and not being acted upon and stuff. And so there's been increased activity on vendor stuff. On the other hand, if they came down with a hammer, and shut down a couple plants because they had bad parts, and I'll get back to you.